Morning all, how's things? I suppose, we're going to go through digital project delivery for regional building business unit within Sisk. So as the introductions there, my name's Enda Geraghty, regional BIM lead for regional building, and I'm joined by Jessica Hartnett, the regional information systems manager for regional building also. Just going to start with a bit of a question. I suppose what we deliver in the construction sector, it's not changing. I suppose we're still delivering buildings, offices, hospitals, roads, bridges. I suppose the big thing is that how we're delivering it is changing, and the question is why. I suppose our answer to the why question is digital project delivery. Digital project delivery is the process in which we look to digitize, the way in which we look to digitize our processes. I suppose how it works is that there's three core enablers. This is BIM, information management, and innovative technology. And I suppose why we do it, the obvious reasons: accuracy, cost savings, de-risking projects, quality, and the likes of that. So what I suppose DPD can enable, it can enable modern methods of construction, which more and more sites are looking to do this, and obviously facilitate embodied carbon, net zero targets as well. So under then DPD, the DPD approach within the umbrella function of information management, we have the likes of ISO 19650, where we have the accreditation with the BRE, and under that also then is the management of our common data environment and our field data capture tools. From the BIM side of things then, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, we're all kind of familiar with that. And then into the innovative tech side, it's the likes of AI. AI is probably going to be one of the biggest things I would imagine in the coming years within the industry. We obviously used it with the likes of AI progress tracking through the likes of Disperse. Geospatial, then another part of our strategy roadmap was to bring that internal, which we now have that led by Andy Rickey. And the likes of drones there, where I suppose that's kind of the standard usage across our projects. Also then on DPD, so the three core enablers, they're embedded across all our functions within the business. So the intention is that, if it's health and safety, that we're looking at their processes, looking to digitize it and streamline their processes, and also bringing it into the likes of, I suppose, digital twin, net zero, and things like that. So I have a couple of examples later on, which we'll go through in detail. But clicker is broken, is it? Oh, there we go, yeah. So our digital journey then within Sisk, it started roughly around 2011. I suppose it came from obviously the industry adoption of BIM, client requirements, and then from that there was the DPD function within the company was, I suppose, established. From there then we looked to target getting accreditation from what was PAS previously, and now also accredited with ISO 19650. And then the big thing for us was the collaboration, I suppose, raising awareness within the company, training, upskilling our staff, that it's not just the BIM engineers or the information systems managers on the site that are delivering on this, that it's a team effort with the whole site, and it's coming from the top down. And then I suppose our continuous improvement, there's a few things there, like project controls and data, how we manage that within the business, obviously, I suppose, in the coming years as well. And right now, data is a big part of the business, being able to analyse it, see what we're good at and maybe what we're not so good at as well, and looking to improve things. And as I mentioned then as well, geospatial, which we do have that now in-house as well within Sisk. I'm going to hand over then to Jess to go through a few slides.
Great. So here we have our digital maturity matrix, showing, similar to what David mentioned earlier, is we have a 3 horizon model. So horizon 1 is very much protect what we're doing day to day. 2 is try and enhance and extend that. And then 3 is disrupt or transform our business model. So it's similar to what we've heard. So our industry is going to start telling the government how things are driven and try and drive it from within. Below the little graph, we've got again the 3 prongs, the BIM, IM and tech, and we've various phases. At the moment, the majority of our business is kind of around 2 and 3. Our goal is to get up to 4 and 5. You'll see in the presentation, we have hit some of the phase 5 and phase 4 items. We've got some automation robotics, you'll see. We've got our HP printer out behind us. And we've also got some real-time data analytics that we're using on projects. Okay, so again, our project's regional building. It's basically kind of any project outside the M50 within Sisk, within Ireland. The blue dots are showing where we are based in the country at the moment, and we've highlighted out some that you will see today. So here in Athlone, we've got our community nursing units that we're working on. There's one of 7 that we're building at the moment with the HSE. In Limerick then we've got 2 projects. There's Project Opera in the city centre and University Hospital Limerick outside. And in Galway we've got Bonham Quay. Again, if you're familiar, that's right on the quays, you might have seen it. Okay, so information management, and as mentioned already, we are accredited to 19650. We got our accreditation back in 2020, and we've been doing our surveillance reports, our surveillance audits every year. We recently had it, got through it with no NCRs, so very happy with that. We use this then to drive our protocols in the business, so out of that we updated our digital project delivery policy, and out of that then we pull out our BIM execution plans and information management protocols for each project. So we have the templates there, just make it bespoke to each project, whether they're using the Irish annex or some recently in the UK are even using the new UK annex that was out recently. So going to show a couple of kind of highlights out of our field data capture and our CD that we use. So I could stay here all day talking about how we use it, but I just want to get some the real life examples that we use to get things a bit more streamlined. So we have in our field data capture, what we had was an issue with incorporating inspection plan numbering into inspection forms on the system we use. So that would be the project inspection plan that aligns with B cards, actually on the CNUs here in Athlone we're using it. So a solution was to use the digital field tool to save time and provide those real-time updates while linking it back to that project inspection plan. So I've just included a screen grab of the Excel that they're using. So this is only one page of it. It goes on quite a bit through all the various phases of the build. So what we did is create this form. We use field view currently within the business, so we have the form for general inspection, BCAR audits, and all our designers are going to use it. You can see here the question is the inspection complete? Yes, and then they can raise a task along with that with any items or observations they make. So this then, if they click on that, it will show that association. So again here I've just put a first floor item. When you open it up, this is how they fill out the task, and down here at the bottom I've put in scores. So again, it's using the system to the best we could to try and pull out that information to link it back to the project inspection plan. And again here they can just pick the item number and that will stay associated then with this form. They can, by going through field view, interrogate the system and kind of filter down to, in this example I've used waterproofing, they can filter to show all the waterproofing inspections and then get that kind of interrogation with it. Similar to the common data environment, we're using Viewpoint for projects. Again, this is just one example of how we're using it. So what we're doing is getting QR codes, printing them out to use them on site, stick them up at key locations or outside rooms or specific areas to share information. A specific one again on the CNUs here is using it for technical submittals and sample approvals next to locations. So someone on site can take out their phone, this should work for you, and they basically scan the QR code and it'll bring them to this kind of a folder that will show the specific information. I've just used some samples here today, but it does show project-specific information. We found that quite successful. Okay, and I'll hand you back to Enda.
Thank you. So I'll go through a few things on BIM. Some of them might seem small, but I suppose once we look into them, we'll see that I suppose why we're looking at them. So just from 3D coordination, I suppose everyone's fairly familiar with it, and clash detection process along that. So what we've done within Sisk is that we've used iConstruct, the plugin for Navisworks, and what we've done from that is we were able to group our clashes within Navisworks. So I don't know if you can see the original numbers there. So the original clash test numbers without the test are around 269. Then after, once we've grouped them using the iConstruct plugin, that brings us down to about 74 clashes. So I suppose ultimately our BIM engineers can work more efficiently. That's probably saving around 40 minutes in the hour if they were just doing clash detection all day. So it's little things that I suppose help our resources on site. There is a video here. There we go. So drone and interactive solutions. Drones are a standard across all our projects now within regional building. We have an in-house drone operator. This project here is from just down the road. It's the CNU's. I suppose anyone familiar with drones and in the construction industry, it's not just as simple as putting a drone up in the air. There's a lot of permissions, a lot of requirements with the IAA. That's a big task in itself, and just making sure that I suppose everything we're doing is above board with drones. We also use the likes of Evercam. We have it obviously for the cameras on site. That's pretty much another standard across our sites, and that's used for the likes of site teams doing digital whiteboards and things like that. They're able to take a live photo from the site and use it in a way that I suppose it gives the most benefit to the guys on site. Other things that we use drone information for is the likes of our cut and fill as well. So we use drone deploy for that. So 4D BIM, again, everyone's pretty much familiar with it. This again is for the CNUs just down in Athlone. But what we're trying to deliver on this is that we show, or we standardize a room and a ensuite. So we're really going into the detail on the 4D to be able to demonstrate to our supply chain, our contractors doing the work, that they're fully aware, I suppose, what tasks they need to do, when they need to do it, and who's in there first, and when they need to be, I suppose, in and out of the area. So just the point in this one is that we're really trying to get into the detail so that the full project team, including our supply chain and our contractors, are fully aware of the process. And this obviously gives them the opportunity as well to interrogate it, to give their feedback on it as well. And it could mean that some of the sequencing just needs to change to work around because they might see something that maybe we don't or the guys on site don't. So. As mentioned then as well, geospatial, so this is in-house. I probably wouldn't do the slide as good as Andy would, but I suppose we have all this function in-house. The example on the right there is from Project Opera down in Limerick. It's a fairly large development in the city centre, spread over around 5 contracts. This was based on the contract A, which was the demo contract, where we had to provide as-built models at the end. So we scanned all this internally within Sisk, and then updated the existing models to match what was what the buildings looked like after we had made some of the demolitions. So that's going to be used then for future design as well on the project. Just again, I'm going to touch on some key benefits. Obviously, enhanced collaboration, early issue detection, where you're going in scanning areas in the middle of install, and we're able to reflect that or compare that back to the model. Monitoring and progress tracking, and then what most commonly used as-built conditions and verification. Sustainability as well, another one that's touched on, and again, it's I probably see that this is maybe going to be mandatory across a number of projects, let's say, within the coming years, that we're all trying to, I suppose, keep track of our carbon footprint. And as mentioned earlier on, I think the construction industry is roughly around the 40%. So I suppose where I see the big thing on this is that it's going to, I suppose, promote or allow people to make design decisions on materials and that would have a less carbon impact compared to other ones that are used. So what we're using or what we're doing at the moment is that we're taking the models along with the bill of quantities. We're using the plugin for one-click LCA. It's a bit of a mix. We're getting both the models and the BOQ information along with construction waste energy information, and populate that in the LCA system to be able to do our carbon analysis on it. And then again, just a short video, and we have the HP site print over there. So we're lucky that we're working with LES and HP themselves on trialling this on some of our projects. So we had this down in Limerick where we were able to trial it and be able to give some good feedback to HP. But I suppose it's interesting to see where the construction industry is going. Obviously the benefits of this is that it pretty much eliminates human error on site for setting out. So I see this probably coming into our daily tasks with our site engineers, particularly on, I suppose, difficult projects where there's lots of rooms to set out. So, and Jess then is going to go through the NCR.
Thanks. So similar to what I mentioned earlier, we're using real-time data analytics. Again, this is coming from our digital field tool, FieldView, and using APIs then within our data warehouse and Power BI. As you can see, we get these dashboards that will show, in this case, it's live information on our non-conformance reports across all our projects in the company. So I've redacted a lot of the information, so it's probably not very useful at the moment, but you can see there's various views down here where we can go executive, see the whole project, business unit, zone right down to project level. We can show it against the bottom here. We have the root causes, so within the business we have our Q8s, which are our 8 quality areas where we might have like the most number of defects. It's revised every couple of years, but you can see here the root causes of the NCRs aligned with those Q8s, and again you can see they're still quite a hot topic in the business. Again, it just breaks down the information so the project teams can go and view this at any time. It is on our intranet, our kind of eyesight SharePoint system within the business, so it's accessible to all business users. They can go in and just see the information live, and again, because it has that API link, it is up-to-date information. And then so over a decade of collaboration, innovation, passion, hard work, and a lot of disheartening attempts and unsuccessful project approvals and submissions, we now have continued success. And again, that's part of the success of our digital project delivery team, using that 3-pronged approach across the whole business to get success. And this is probably just some of our highlights from the DPD team. So the whole company, 160 years experience. DPD team is brought in since probably 2017, 2018. We started to recruit and get those specific roles in the business. At the moment, within our DPD function, our split is 55 male, 45% female, which is quite a diverse team. We're from around the world. So again, you can see here, diverse and inclusive team. And 95 plus at the moment. We try and pull out from the DPD graduate programme, so we're trying to encourage graduates to come in to the DPD team from our graduate programme. I'll pass you back to Enda to close out.
Yeah, close out the last slide. So then just going back to our digital vision, as we said, I suppose there is a lot of the digital technology that we have to hand. We're just trying to implement that within the company and to, I suppose, improve efficiency across our tasks. I suppose our ambition over the next 3 to 5 years is to propel Sisk into a new era of performance through these cutting-edge digital technologies. So I probably feel we're only touching the outermost layer of what is about to come in the next years, especially with robotics, AI, and that. So I think over the next few years it's definitely going to be fairly interesting for the industry itself. As mentioned in our key focus areas through our digital transformation strategy, there's some, I suppose, key areas, which is people and cultural change. And as Jess said, I suppose the people within our team are probably our biggest asset. We have a great team behind us in DPD and even across the wider business. So I suppose a lot of the credit of the work that's actually been done and that you've seen on the site is solely from the team. I wish I could take credit for a lot of it, but it is from our team. So then also integrated DPD approach. I suppose that it's not just the DPD team that's driving this within the business, that's coming from the top down, which is very important to actually get this working across our business. Obviously data-driven organisation, where we're pulling the data from, how we're using it, how we're analysing it, and then the last one, just the tech roadmap for vision for future. And I'll finish on that.
That's great, thank you very much, thank you.
Thanks all.